Well, we're getting closer and closer to the start of the season. And in just 5 or 6 hours' time, probably a little bit longer to be fair, I don't know when this video is actually going to go out on Friday, but we face Matlock Town in our first friendly of the season. It's going to be really, really important to see how Paul Warne sets up the team, who gets minutes, who's in what physical shape, but we have to remember the key points of pre-season. Let's not get too downhearted about results. Let's not get too upbeat about results. And let's just focus on the key aspects of Derby County's pre-season. But we're going to look into it all now. Look into what to expect from the game between Derby and Millwall. And what I'm expecting Paul Warne to do. Now, if you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below or in this top corner to stay tuned for all of my latest Derby County, EFL, Championship and League One content heading your way. Over the course of the next few months, I'm going to get more stuck into the Championship and League One news and what's going off weekly, daily even, if that happens to be needed. So make sure you've hit that subscribe button and turned on the notification bell to stay tuned for all of my latest content. Now, this is a big one for me. First pre-season friendly for me, I think is always really important. It's the one where you dust off the cobwebs. It's the one where you get sort of the starting feel for how the team may line up on the opening day. You get a feel for who has come back to pre-season ready, who looks as if they want to be here. And I think they are massively important conversations to have. Obviously, we know at the moment Derby County is still lacking in a couple of areas, most notably in midfield, maybe left wing back, depending on the system we decide to go with next season. And I think that is something which is going to be talked about, especially today with this game going on. Are we going to be playing that 3-5-2, which Paul Warne wanted to start last year with? Are we going to be playing the 3-4-3 that we ended the season with and ultimately got promoted using? Or are we going to play a back four? Now, obviously, if you saw my video yesterday, and as of the time of recording this, Ibu Adams has not signed. There's no official deal in place. Nothing has been agreed. But it looks as if that deal's getting closer. And for me, we're in a position where we've got an opportunity to put out a strong side. Obviously, injuries, obviously at this point, are very low. I don't believe we have any. Obviously, we don't get pre-match media for pre-season friendlies. So we're none the wiser really about how the squad's looking, but obviously Kenzo will have had his first training session and will probably be involved. I believe he should be involved anyway. Might see a few of the young lads get an opportunity to put on a show at Matlock, be able to get into the team at some point. And I'm really thinking that this could be one of the most important friendlies. I think it sets a standard. I think it happened last season. We set the standard in our first friendly. I think that was against Matlock as well. Scored some really, really nice goals. I think we won 2-0 in the end. And then the big problem that happened was we lost Joe Ward at the start of... I think we lost Joe Ward at the start of pre-season. Lost Callum Elder. Sibley got injured. Who else got injured? I think Cash picked up a knock at one point. We picked up so many knocks throughout pre-season last year. And ultimately, we never really got a proper opportunity to push out our best team. I think Fozzie was injured at points. So we never really had a left back during pre-season. And Liam Thompson was playing out there. Now, it's one of those for me where injuries happen. Worst time for them to happen probably is pre-season. And looking into this Matlock game, I think the important part of all of our... I think we've got 6 friendlies. Is I just really hope we can come out a season of pre-season unscathed with no injuries. Obviously, it's like unlikely that that's going to happen. Someone's going to pick up a knock at some point. But for me, I really hope that our key players are able to stay fit. I think we probably will see the likes of Darren Robinson. I think we may see Ben Radcliffe. Maybe even Cruz Allen now. McAndrew may get an opportunity. I think it's pretty clear and obvious we'll see Dejon Brown. Be good to see Jake Rooney back from his ACL injury. But is he ready to step up and play yet? We don't know. Obviously, I believe he got back into training throughout the last week of last season, but obviously never got any minutes. He would have obviously gone through his rehab, prehab programs, pre-season programs, off-season programs to put himself in the best position. But obviously, with those injuries, there's little niggles that come after. You look back to Craig Forsyth, the little ones he had, Thorne, Bielik, all had little injuries coming off the back of these big injuries. So that's something which needs to be addressed and assessed as pre-season goes on. I do think we'll see Jake Rooney though. I think it's a massive conversation to be had about how this team's going to line up. Obviously, like, is Niambi going to be a wing-back or a centre-half? Are we going to play with full-backs or wing-backs? Like, how are we going to play? Because it's a very interesting dynamic that Derby County have. Is we have a lot of players who are very versatile, and obviously that gives us a benefit going into these games, especially in pre-season. You can move people around, see who fits where best, what fits the system best, and what fits what we're trying to do best. But the big conversations for me come from Ben Osborn. Where's he going to play? Obviously Niambi, as I've just mentioned. And how is the midfield going to shape up? Obviously, that then links into Ben Osborn, because if we're playing a 3 at the minute, unless Osborn's in midfield, we've only got 3. We've only got Kenzo, Forner and Thompson. So it's one of those for me. I think pre-season's massively important, obviously. So players can get up to fitness, get up to scratch. It normally starts with the players will play 45 each, then it goes to 60, then it goes to 75, then 90 the game before the first game of the season. 90 for what you'd consider players who will play the full 90 on that first game. Now, the big thing that happened last year was obviously in Spain, the players are going to get battered in Spain. We know that's going to happen. We've already seen it. We saw it last year. And the big thing is being able to keep players fit through that period, because I think Kane Wilson took a knockout in Spain. Joe Ward, I don't think even went to Spain. Callum Elder, I don't think went to Spain either because of injury. So the important thing for me is everybody gets through this first game to go to Spain. If everybody gets to Spain, we're in a good place. Obviously, we could have signings join throughout the period in Spain. I'm not sure how long we're out there for. I want to say 10 days, but I could be wrong. It might be 7 or 8. Obviously, we play, I think it's Stockport while we're out there. So it's one of those where if everyone gets through Matlock, can make it to Spain and get through Matlock and get through Stockport, I think we're good. I think we're in a really good place. Obviously, right now, still need a keeper, still probably need another midfielder, at least one, and maybe a centre-half, depending on where you're classing Niambi or where you're classing Forsyth. So there's a lot to talk about heading into the first pre-season friendly. Obviously happens later on today. I'm predicting that we're going to win 3-0. I think James Collins will score. I think Jerry Yates will score. And I think Mendes Lang will score. I think it will be a 3-0 win. I think we'll see some of the young lads. I think Dejan Brown will get minutes. Darren Robinson, Ben Radcliffe, I think they'll all get minutes. I think Rooney will get on the pitch at some point. And I'm really interested to see how we do shape up. The tactical discussion around pre-season is obviously interesting because I don't think we play anyone that's considered championship level, which obviously makes it interesting because we're not going to have that real top-end challenge. Obviously, we've got the Spanish team that we face at Pride Park as the final game. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this one does go down. Let me know what you want to see from pre-season. I'm going to be trying to keep up to date with all the games, and I'll try and drop a preview for each one, a review after each game. So let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments. What sort of things do you want me to look at? What sort of things do you want me to talk about for each game? Let me know down in the comment section. And if you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell and smash that like button. And I'll catch you in my next video, which will be a review of Derby County's first pre-season friendly versus Matlock Town. Make sure to go and find me on TikTok, pictured here, and Twitter, pictured here. These are the places where I'll keep you all up to date with all my upcoming videos and my thoughts and feelings around the Formula 1 and football weekend.